Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. I am Pastor Nick, and today is Monday, Marketplace Monday. We are coming off a glorious Sunday. We had a great time at church. I hope you had a great time. I hope you had a good Sunday night. I hope you're ready to have a great week at work, at church, at life, being productive. And I am really excited about today's show. Work-life balance. Work-life balance. I get a lot of questions about work-life balance. It's an interesting topic. I think you're going to get a little bit of a different take on work-life balance today. I think you're going to be a little bit surprised today. Um, it's good that we're doing this on Winning in the Word, because then you can know Pastor Nick's not talking directly to you. I'm just talking. Okay. But if it applies to you, then, it's something that you need to think about. Um, I think work-life balance, when I hear people talk about work-life balance, when I hear people, oh man, I don't have a good work-life balance. I'm this, that, I think it's a cop out. I think it's a um, it's a fantasy. I think it's a crutch that insecure people use. I think it's a crutch that lazy people use. I think it's a crutch that people with no goals, no vision use. Period. Because at the end of the day, now I said all that to offend y'all. Type in the chat, I'm offended. It's okay. But I said all that for a reason. Work-life balance starts with you. Work-life balance isn't about your job demands. It's not about your family demands. It's not about your church demands. I hear people talk about this in church. I'm burned out, doing too much church. I need more, life, family balance with church. Everyone is talking about work-life balance, like work church balance, work life church balance, marriage, all these things, like it's some formula that you master with calculators, some goals you write out for to put boundaries in place. But the truth is, write this down, put this in the chat. The truth is, you cannot have external balance until you have internal alignment. Write that down. Put that in the chat. Somebody put it in the chat. Please write it down. Don't ever forget it. If you feel your life is out of balance, your work life's out of balance with your personal life's out of balance with your church life, your marriage life is out of balance with you having personal time to yourself, there's all kinds of things that we think get out of balance. I have too many responsibilities at the house, and my husband goes to work and comes home and puts his feet up, and I work just like he does. Why can't he clean and cook? And why do I got to take care of the kids? Everything's out. You're never going to have balance in other things, external balance, until you have internal alignment. If you are out of order in your spirit, folks, no amount of PTO, no amount of planning, no amount of any of that thing. If you're out of line in your spirit, no amount of PTO or time blocks are going to fix it. No computer program is going to fix it. Balance begins when your values line up with God's design. And what is that? God first, family second, then your career. God first, then your family, then your career. I see people put their family before God. I see it happen right in my church. I see people put God, their job before God. See it right in my church. I see people put their family and their career before God. The minute you start doing all that, things get shifty. Things get out of balance. When you put God first and the things of God first, and you make God first, and you make God most important, and you make God most relevant, everything else gets in order. That order creates flexibility, not restriction. Because in every season, here's the thing you got to remember, in every season, one will demand more attention than the other. There are seasons that your family may require more than certain things in church. But God's got to be first. So in other words, God's got to show you that. But it doesn't mean you neglect any of them, right? It's not about time. Write this down. It's not about time. It's about value. It's about value. Okay? So let's look at this. Number one, balance doesn't start with boundaries. It starts with belief. Write that down. Number one, balance doesn't start with boundaries. It starts with beliefs. People blame their job. People blame their marriage. People blame their children. People blame all kind of life situations on why things are out of order. But balance is about internal structure. Because those things around your life, your job, your family, your children, your career, they're always going to need, let's call it juggling, right? You're not burned out because of what you do. You're burned out because of how you're doing it. That's good, Pastor. You're not burned out because of what you do, because of all you have on you. You're not burned out in your marriage because your husband's lazy. You're burned out in your marriage because you and your husband don't sit down and talk about what your needs are and where you need him to step up and ask him, how am I doing? Before you start telling your husband what he's not doing as a husband, sit down and ask him, how am I doing as a wife? Let them start you. What as a wife do you want me to keep doing? What as a wife do you want me to stop doing? And what as your wife do you want me to start doing that I'm not doing? Start yourself with your husband. You'll get to hear his heart, hopefully. Same with the husbands and the wives. Start yourself with your wife. Because when you and the wife get in order and you put that order in God's order and put God first, everything else is going to get in line. I'm going to say it again. If your spirit is out of order, your schedule will always follow. If your spirit is out of order, your schedule will always follow. Number two, God, family, career. That's the Trinity. That's the unshakable order. Biblical balance isn't about equal time. It's about proper placement, proper alignment. When God is first, he gives you grace for what's next. Somebody put that in the chat. When God is first, he will give you grace, God's unmerited favor and spiritual blessings, empowered to prosper. That's what blessings mean. When God is first, he will give you grace for the rest. He'll give you grace for your family. Listen, I know this. I watch this. I watch people that truly put God first. I'm not telling you they're perfect people, but man, they sure get a lot done. Right? God doesn't ask for more time. Don't ever forget that. God doesn't ask for more time. He asks to be first. He asks to be first. That's all. First in your heart. That's all he asks. Number three, some seasons demand more, but not everything. What do you mean by that, Pastor? Sometimes work takes more. Sometimes family needs more. That's not imbalance. That's stewardship. Sometimes your marriage needs more. Sometimes things aren't going good with you and your wife. And you got a Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend coming up. And it's time to go to your pastor, your leaders at church. Say, listen, I'm not going to be in church this Sunday. It's time to call your job. Hey, listen, I'm not going to be at work Friday. It's time to call your children. Hey, kids, me and mom are going to be gone. We're going from Friday to Monday. It's time to dig into the emergency fund a little bit. Pastor Nick said we got to have the emergency fund. You have to understand seasons. You have to understand your spirit. Sometimes you got to put everything on hold for you and your wife to get away and seek God. Get away and seek each other. Get away and renew your alignment. Because those 3 or 4 days will make everything get better. That's what stewardship is. And don't confuse flexibility with failure. Adapt without compromising your values. You don't have to compromise your values. This ain't something you do every week. I'm talking about you got to know. Balance isn't rigid, it's righteous adaptability. Write that down. Wisdom there. Balance isn't rigid, it's righteous adaptability. Okay? Number 4, insecurity creates imbalance. Insecurity. People overwork to prove themselves or overcompensate at home out of guilt. They're insecure about something. That's why they do what they do at home. Not because they're a good mother or a good father. They're guilty of something. Until you're secure in your identity in Christ, you will always overextend to earn your worth. Until you are secure in your identity in Christ, you will always overextend to earn your worth. Insecurity will drive you to prove what God has already settled. Insecurity will drive you to prove what God has already settled. Listen, folks, it was real simple for me and my wife. I always looked up from work. I'm talking about when I got my life in order. When my life was out of order, I was running from home. Work, I always worked. I worked every holiday. I worked Easter. I knocked on doors 7 days a week. I stayed busy because I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to see my wife. I didn't want to look at her. Didn't want to be around her. And definitely didn't want to be around her little kids. Didn't want to be around none of them. I hung out with the boys. I hope she don't come running out of the room. I hung out with the boys. I hung out with work. I was always working. She could tell you why my life was out of balance. My life was out of order. My life didn't have God first. But when my life got in order, I still worked a lot, but I worked because me and my wife wanted a better life. My wife was on board with everything I did. My wife knew it was different now. She knew where I was at. She knew what I was doing. She saw my paychecks. She saw what I spent. See, before when it was out of order and I worked, my wife didn't know what I spent. My wife didn't know where I was at. My wife didn't know what I was doing. It was all out of order. It wasn't no work-life balance. And let me tell you, I was the master organizer. You can ask her. So it ain't about that neither. It was about my life didn't have God. So write down the last one. Work and life don't compete, they complete. Write it down. Work and life should not compete. It should complete. God designed work to be fulfilling, not draining. It's a gift. Work is a gift, not a curse. A family is a gift, not a curse. A ministry is a gift, not a curse. When work flows from purpose, purpose for what? To supply your family and to fund the gospel. Life isn't divided, it's aligned. When work flows from purpose, number one purpose for a job, to allow you to do what God has called you to do. One of the things God's called you to do is take care of your family. But before you can even take care of your family, you got to take care of his kingdom. Work is worship when done with the right heart. Work is worship when done with the right heart. I'm going to close with this. I'll put it on Facebook for you guys later. Balance isn't about equal time. It's about eternal values. When God is first, everything else finds its place. When God is first, everything else finds its place. Now, I want everybody to do me a favor today. Before you leave, everybody, I want you to go into the chat. I want you to write down the one most important thing you got out of this broadcast today. What is the one saying? What is the one thought? What is the one thing that you now understand differently than you understood before these 15 minutes that's going to stick with you? What is the one thing? The one thing you learned today, just one thing. I want everybody to put the one thing that stood out the most to you today. I love you. Thank you for joining. I hope this has been helpful. This is an important subject, and I hope this helps you. Forward this to somebody. It'll be on our website at our church. You go to www.ltmorlando.org and you go to our sermons, and right there you can click. It's got a share button. You can text it. You can email it. Share it to somebody. People need to hear this message. A lot of people need to hear this message. If you're in our church and there was somebody that wasn't on, you notice somebody you know in your ministry that's not on, text them this message. This is a good message. Okay? Listen, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today. Until Wednesday with me and Pastor Franny. Pastor Nick saying, enjoy